Hello, everybody. It's your girl, Black Queen. This is my take two to my take one. I know with the last video I spoke of, self-esteem. I highlighted on a little bit of my weaknesses and my backdrop on reasons as to why. But I had a whole thing that I was gonna say today, and I had it written out and ready, but it's just something else is on my spirit today, so I want to talk to you guys about it. So let me turn this down. So I've noticed within the last couple of years or so that support, accountability, love, and respect is lacking from a lot of us nowadays, in my generation and in the next generation as well. And I say this for the simple fact that self-love has been replaced now with self-hate. Confidence has been replaced now with materials, as far as, hair, makeup for guys, still yet hair, not makeup, but, designer belts, boxes, the pants, the shoes for women, royal panty sets, Fashion Nova, you feel me? Like, not knocking any of those, but those things have begun to shape our society. They've begun to shape the human race. And I say that for the simple fact that simple conversation and simple acts of respect no longer take place. Today, just this morning, I held the door for somebody at work. This was just an officer at work. Held the door for them to get in, and they looked at me as though I threw something at the back of their head. Like, it was completely out of shock. They was confused. They didn't know what was up. Why am I holding the door for them? Why am I allowing them to go before me and I'm holding the door for them? Like, for me, that bothers me because you shouldn't be confused when somebody is being polite to you, when someone is showing you a form of respect. Just being simply courteous to you, And the fact that that confused one person, imagine if I stood there and really did a survey for like probably 5 hours to see how many people had a shocking expression on their face because I, as a black woman, as a woman, as a person on this earth, decided to hold the door for another human being, expecting nothing, wanting nothing, but to be courteous and show simple respect. Our kids, my child as well, is growing up around other people and are being raised around people that don't possess these simple traits, that don't have these simple ideas or, notions to do these things simply and just offer it, just off the muscle to just do it. And it mind boggles me because we're always put to say, we can't stand liars, we can't stand the haters, we can't stand two-faced people, selfish people, woo. But it's like, honestly, now what it's come to is we cannot stand ourselves because everything that we don't like that one person does, if we sit back and reflect, we'll realize in some way, shape, or form, we have repeated that act. We have done that act. So if we can't hold ourselves accountable for what we started, how can we expect another person to hold themselves accountable for what they did to us or what they did in general? You feel what I'm saying? I was told by my aunt, you can't expect from somebody something they weren't taught. So if we don't teach respect, being courteous, kind, being polite, those traits, we can't expect another person to deliver that to us, especially if we don't acknowledge it or we don't hold them accountable to it, or we don't even let them know that that's how we want to be treated. Like, you can't just expect somebody to give you that. Like, some people don't give a fuck. So at the end of the day, for them, they don't care if you hold the door for them. They don't care if you say good morning. They don't care if you smell in their direction as a stranger just to be courteous to them. They don't care because half the society is on their phone, they're on their tablets, they're on their game systems, they're on their cars, because everything does everything for you now. So it's just like society is built up now to not really need a person for simple everyday tasks, but it shows we need a person for sexual activities or for favors. You see where the disconnect goes? Like, back in the day, a woman strived for a man to open the door for her, you know, to pull her seat out for her, to be polite. You know, people would strive for crossing conversation, for crossing excitement, because for them, and this is just all in my opinion, all that I've seen as I've gone through my own steps of life and I've looked at other steps of life, it's like, man, like they were honored, you know, that somebody took the time to do these things. And it wasn't like it was just an expect, you know, it's not that they expected it, but they automatically had a backdrop in their head that this would take place because they know somebody's parent taught them this. I'm not gonna say, you know, the mix of races and stuff like that. I'm not gonna go that deep. But what I'm gonna say is they knew somebody's parent taught them to be a decent person to another person. So when they went out on these dates and they went and did these things, they knew what to expect to an extent. It wasn't obligated, but it was common courtesy that was expected in a relationship or in a dating stage or just in pure walks of life as friends. Like, it was something that simple. Like, nowadays you have to tell your friend, like, girl, don't mess with my dude, you know, or dude, don't mess with my girl, you feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's little things like that. Like, you gotta tell your friends now, like, have my back, you feel me? And so comes to you and says this, like, you gotta make sure that you have my back. You should, back in the day, if anything happened, your dog had your back, period. Like, you didn't have to give him a pre-talk to be ready for something to hit the fan. You knew off rip, whatever situation, any area you guys went, who would and who wouldn't have your back, because that respect was there. There was honor amongst thieves at a point. Now, there's no honor amongst anything. And if thieves can have honor amongst themselves and they steal from people, to now there's nothing even amongst thieves and every regular day professional suit and tie business people. Like, I told my mom the other day straight up, I adore older people. I do. Y'all don't get me wrong when you see this. But if I was an old person, I would be stealing from half the damn world for the simple fact I was walking this earth longer than anybody on this earth. You feel me? In my head, if I was older, and I can't go get a job no more if I want to because I have to retire. My check ain't shit for me to do nothing, to live luxuriously outside of retirement. It's like the only way that would happen is if you kept your pussy together or you kept your dick to yourself and you didn't pop out more than 2 to 3 kids, that your pension and everything could still sit right. And nobody ever went to jail. Nobody wanted to go to college and couldn't pass classes and stuff, you feel me? Or nobody wanted to sneak and get a loan and exceed their stuff or get a credit card that they couldn't pay for, or anything drastic. Nothing drastic can happen in your life for you to remain secure and stable as an older person. So that's why I said, for me as an old person, I would be robbing every damn person on this earth for the simple fact that my money is cut. But a lot of them are not doing that because what? They're from the era where you worked to get your keep. You earned your keep. You feel me? You don't just go and take from somebody else because you lack. You go out there and go get what you want for your family and support yourself and your family consistently. Not just here and there, testing the water, spotting out people's houses, doing credit card scams, gypping people of their cars, robbing cars, doing this and doing that. No, they went out, made their money, and did what they have to do. If they sold drugs, it was to support their family. They weren't selling drugs to be cute. They weren't selling drugs to get highlight. They weren't selling drugs for any of that. They were selling drugs because it was in a hard place, and they needed to uplift their family and get their family off to better. Men and stuff were not killing women. They weren't killing kids. They weren't touching old folks. There was rules to this shit. There's no rules now. So when there's no rules or there's no respect, there's no board, there's no lines. You feel me? There's nothing that nobody can know not to cross over to make repercussions take place or consequence. Like, there used to be a thick ass line to show you what you could and could not cross, and it was so unspoken that if a nigga from a different set saw you crossing rules that was meant for life, that's over. If a nigga in your own set saw you doing something you wasn't supposed to do, it's over. You get dealt with. Period. Set, family, relationships, whatever, what have you. There was rules, there was stipulations, there was things to help people know the difference between that gray and, good and bad, basically. Like, there's nothing now. Everything has a gray area, everything has a gray spot. And it scares me now to think, because I look at a lot of kids on Facebook and Instagram, and I don't have Twitter. I'm still learning some of these new things, you feel me? But I look and it's just like, kids don't look like they used to, and I know I said this in the last video too. Kids don't look like they used to back when I was a kid. Like, when I was a kid, you knew I was a kid. There was no gray spot. You know what I mean? Like, even if I had a little boobage in my shirt, you knew I was a kid. Down to my printed tee. Back when they wore Payless for girls, we had the thick ass white sneakers with the, the little heel at the bottom. We used to have the printed shirts, the little JCPenney Sears pants. Like, some kids would be, the Tommy Hilfiger at the bottom, whatever, what have you. But majority kids was in kid wear, so you knew what a kid was, But now it's like, I got little girls that's 14 and 15 walking out looking like me. You feel me? So you can tell when some of them open their mouths that they're not my age. But off first glance and first look, you don't know. And you can ask them if you want, but if they have an idea that if they tell you what you want to hear, they can get what they want, they're going to do that. But these kids are all after material, so they don't have that conscience that gives them the trigger that's like, hold up, pause, something's up. You get what I'm saying? They'll do anything for a check. And that's what society shows them. Do anything for a check, and you can get this kind of life that will make everybody want to do what you do to get where you're trying to go, so they can be there too. Like, everything is about following. There's no more leaders in the world. Everyone is in a rush to get a come up, to be the next thing popping. It's a damn shame a fucking egg broke the internet because Kylie Jenner broke the internet. I don't even know what the fuck she broke the internet for. But an egg broke the internet to outbeat her breaking the internet to prove the shit could be done. The egg wasn't curing cancer. The egg wasn't solving unsolved deaths. It wasn't getting kids that have been kidnapped back to their parents. It wasn't doing anything to benefit now. But it was the point can break the internet. You feel me? Anything can break the internet if you put in enough work to try to do it. So you got kids now snorting bath salt to do their reactions on YouTube so that they can be the next up and coming person. You got kids taking tampons and sticking them in alcohol and shoving it up their assholes so they can get drunk faster because that's the new rave that they see on TV. You got kids snorting condoms up their fucking nose to pull out the other side so that they can break the internet. You have parents allowing their children, 1, 2, 3, however old, to cuss on the internet so that check can come in the mail. Slapping, like fighting with the, like just doing little stupid shit. Like, when was it okay to tarnish yourself to be rich? And not rich spiritually, not rich emotionally, but rich physically, from a dollar that can be burnt at any time, that can be fakely recreated at any moment, that changes at the drop of a dime when somebody does something, I don't fucking know. It just changes at the drop of a dime. It went from being green, now fucking money is blue. You feel me? So I'm just like, people are killing people for things that don't last at all. And tarnishing what lasts eternally for a temporary fix. So right now, what is being taught to society is killing society, and we're rushing the process of the earth recycling. You get what I'm saying? Everything is a cycle. We're speeding up the cycle because we're helping each other kill each other off for shit that doesn't mean anything. There's a new invention every couple of months. So 6 months from now, you feel me? The egg, it might be a piece of broccoli and some cheese. You dig it? That might break the internet because, hey, I don't know. Let's say Nicki Minaj had a titty ass cheek slip. I don't know. You see her half naked almost all the time, but the fact that a titty and an ass came out at the same time, on accident, would more than likely break the air. Or let's say this: Safari and Erica Mena break up next week. Bet you it'll break the internet, but people still haven't got their taxes. Now we have to bust our ass to get a fucking wall that we didn't want to keep people out. None of this was ever talked about before. When I heard about the wall the first time, his ass was supposed to be funding it. Now we're supposed to be funding it. But if you don't have a federal job or you're not in the government some which way, some kind of way, you're not concerned on what's taking place with your people. Because again, respect, accountability, love, decency, kind, all those qualities are gone. So everybody is out for themselves, but nobody is out for each other. I don't understand. Now you have kids that can't even make it to 3 or 4 years old. And half of the killings that's taking place is at the hands of their own parents. Because why? Kids are having kids, and the kid that had that kid to make that next kid was never taught how to better themselves or help themselves emotionally heal so that they could take care of their child, right? So that their child would be decent enough to go into the world to possibly recreate more children, but would give them substance as they kept populating so that the world could still be a better place with them in it. Everybody now is just popping out babies because what? Babies make money. I was just told, I'm sorry guys, I was just told Section 8 is going to be knocked off in February. Who knows if that's true? There's a lot of stuff that comes out now on the internet that's a distraction. A lot of this shit is a distraction. It's probably something bigger taking place, but that's a whole nother video. This video, if you take anything from it, it is that change starts with self. So if you look outside your window and you don't see what you like, or even if you look in the mirror and you don't see something that you like, change it. Don't go cover it up in makeup, or cover it up in designer clothes, or cover it up in drama and dramatics. Heal it. Find the root of what it is that makes it uncomfortable for you in a negative way. Find what it is that makes it ugly to you in a negative way, so that all those negative things can be positive, so that we're taking the negative and we're pushing it out, and we're inhaling the positive, so that we can continue to one day continue to push out positive, to only inhale positive, so that the negativity can continue to cancel itself out. Yes, I know it's what positive makes it positive, or negative makes it whatever the fuck. I suck at math. We had this conversation in the last video. But basically, we can't do better if we don't do better for ourselves, right? I'm not perfect by a long fucking shot. I have a history of bullshit on my fucking record. But I look into my daughter's eyes every day, and she makes me want to improve. For people who don't have kids, look into your mom's eyes. If your mom is no longer here, look into your dad's eyes. If you don't have either one, look into a loved one's eyes. If you're in this world by yourself, look at the sky and just know that there's a higher power that put that there for you. If you're able to even watch this, or you're able to even wake up in the morning, that is a blessing in itself, because there's a reason you're still here. There's a reason God kept you here, because there's a new day for you to possibly make it better for somebody else. You don't have to change the world all at once, but in the little things we do every day, it builds up to a better tomorrow. It builds up for a better hour, the next hour. It builds up for a better next 15 minutes. It builds up for the next better 45 seconds. Anything small that you do that's positive can have a better outlook on somebody else. The other day I was at work and I drive, I'm a delivery driver for a living. So when I leave to go home, if I have money in my pocket, it's because of the people that I go deliver to every day. So I have to sit here and I have to get on the clock and I have to remember I'm here for a job. So it's not my job to go to my delivery spot with a mopey attitude because my fridge broke or my washer's broken and I had to be at work and I couldn't wash my stuff, or my child made me stay up all night and I had to come to work early as hell the next day unexpectedly. Like, they don't need to know that. That's not their problem. That's not their burden. It's yours. But in a sense, it's a temporary burden for a better later on. Yeah, you was up all night because your daughter couldn't sleep or your son couldn't sleep. But you woke up and still yet went to work the next morning. Oh wait, you woke up, and on top of that, you went to work, and on top of that, you had something to get to work in. So one, you woke up. Two, you don't have a car. Boom, still yet you have legs and feet that another person probably did not have. Boom, you don't have legs and feet, you have a hip to sit on. You feel me? Boom, you don't have that, you have a spirit still inside you. You have a brain still here. You have a heart still here. God gave us multiple things because all of those things can better yet benefit the world later on. Better yet, benefit a person later on. Every experience that we have is another lesson for us to deliver to somebody else. It's another lesson for us to live out and to do better for them. If you decide to stay into your misery or you decide to display that into the world, that's exactly what you're going to get back. Because in the morning time, I realize now when I go to work, if I take that negative energy to work, I bet you I won't get paid. Not even just that. I bet you I'll feel worse than that day than I did that night because I decided to still mope that whole day off of that little shit that happened that night, and I made the whole rest of my next new day a fuck up. That's all I'm trying to get you guys to see. Little things. Little things lead up to big things. If you're in a relationship right now and you said to yourself, I'm going to give this person one more time to do this wrong and I'm going to leave them. And they've already done that shit wrong 35 fucking times. And this one particular time, you're like, I'm done with this nigga if he does this shit again. I'm done with this bitch if she does this shit again. And then they do the shit again and then you're just so fucking mad and you're venting and you're spazzing and you're doing all over this shit. But what? You go right back and give them the. Now you have to come up with a way to get that task figured out on top of whatever else that it was that you had to do for you to have to ask somebody to come and jump in. You feel what I'm saying? But all that could have been eliminated if you did what? Went with your first mind, got rid of that person that wasn't trying to benefit you or wasn't even caring about how you felt or anything pertaining to you. They only cared about them. If you would have already got rid of that negative, you would have been already in a positive space. So whatever that situation was that took place, you would have been able to hold yourself accountable for it not getting done. There would have been no one else to point fingers at, no one else to point blames at, no one else to do any of that. Because at the end of the day, you held yourself accountable to the task that you wanted to get done. If anybody is adding on to what you're doing, wants to add on to what you're doing, they have to be able to hold their own weight as well as be ready to take on your weight. If you say you're ready to be with somebody else, that means for you to be ready to take on your own weight and be ready to take on somebody else's weight. If you're not ready to do that, stay by your damn self. Me, I ain't ready to do that, so I'm staying by my damn self. I just got rid of a situation, and that's going to be a whole nother video. But yeah, I got rid of a situation so that I can be in a positive space. And it took me a while to do that. It shouldn't have took me as long as it did, because I had signs to tell me to leave him there. But I felt that that person would do what they said that they was going to do, forgetting that nobody is going to do for you the same way you're going to do for you. So if you expect something from somebody else, be able to give it to yourself first, so that your intake of disappointment or your intake of that negative feeling you'll get when it's not done is eliminated. It's eliminated. Don't expect from somebody else what you don't expect from yourself, because you'll always be disappointed. That's just that. You can't make shit into magic. It just don't happen that way. You know what I'm saying? Not off of just pure thought. You have to put some work in. You gotta figure something out to get it to where you're trying to go. So just don't, don't be a sucker for it. Sorry if I'm a little scattered. Like I told you guys, this was just on my heart. So I wanted to come talk to you guys about this. I'm so sorry for being gone for a month, but as we stated in the last video, I'm on my own self-healing, and I'm doing my best that I can to expose and share all this with you guys. So if any comments you guys have, any tidbits you want to throw in, anything you feel I can do different, please, please, please let me know. Comment down. If you like this video, please share it. If you want me to add more to the video, let me know. I can make a part 2-A, you feel me, to this video to elaborate more. But I just want all of us to be able to get this going. Like, we're all kings and queens, and we stop being that once we choose to stop being that. The material stuff does not make you who you are. It's what's already in there, and how you act on those things is what makes you who you are. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to try to rewire your lives. I'm just here to wake you up, and to let you see that the situation that you're in, if you want it to be better, you hold the keys to do that, because God gave you the keys to learn how to do that. He never installed fear inside of us. He never installed hate inside of us. He never installed jealousy inside of us. He never installed any of those negative characteristics inside of us. Those things are things that we developed over time and were taught to us. Love was designed inside of us. Caring was designed inside of us. Kindness, compassion, all those wonderful things was there. You want to know why? Because our children possess those things automatically. They come out the womb ready to love. They come out the womb ready to embrace. These walls that we build up, these don't touch me anti-shields we have, are developed over time. We in our own way build those walls ourselves. We in our own ways build those mechanisms to help us lock ourselves from the world, help us not feel. But I'm here to tell you guys, once you stop feeling, you're no longer human. God made us to feel. We're supposed to feel. We have these things for a reason, because based off of your feelings, based off your journey, that's what helps mold you. So if you don't feel nothing, you don't go through nothing, who are you? What are you? What have you been through to be able to help put your stamping on the world? Or what have you been through to be able to help you keep going forward? You won't be able to answer that question. So it's like every day, as you guys walk this earth, do something for somebody outside of yourself and see how you feel after that. Don't do it for them. Do it for you. Hold the door for somebody. They don't say thank you. You say thank you to yourself, because guess what? You went over a milestone in your life, and yesterday you wouldn't have held the door for somebody, but today you did. So that's a step. It's a step. All we need is baby steps to get to those major steps, and everything will be okay. You guys are trying to rush your major steps, and you're skipping all the other steps that you have to take to get to there. You make it to your fame and you get all that money. What the fuck are you going to do with it if you're lost and confused and you don't know what the fuck to do? You're going to die, because you're going to be paid and being able to take care of everybody in the world financially, but you can't still yet take care of your fucking self. And that was the one person you are supposed to be responsible for at all times. Even if you have kids, you're still responsible for yourself. So if yourself ain't shit in your head, and you continue to do ain't shit actions on the outside, you're an ain't shit ass person. That is your choice. But if you realize, and you wake up that day and you realize, I'm an ain't shit ass person and I don't want to be ain't shit. I want to be somebody. I want to do something better. The first step is acknowledging what you don't have. And the second step is to try to find a way to get what it is that you don't have without hurting somebody in the process. You cannot better yourself by hurting somebody. If it takes you hurting somebody to make yourself better, you're going to be worse off at the end of the day. And when I say hurt somebody to better yourself, I'm not saying you gave up on somebody after upteen amount of years and they just wouldn't get no accuracy, so you left them and you told them to fuck off. That's not it. What I'm saying is, The only way for you to get happy is to see another person in pain, to see another person in tears, to see another person without, to see another person on their on their knees in pain types tip. You get what I'm saying? Those things. You won't win from that. You won't win from that. That's like fear. You can't rule a kingdom with fear and expect them to remain loyal to you. You can't do that. Fear cancels out at the end of the day. But respect, love, genuineness, those things have longevity. They have longevity. So if you can develop that with people, not even off of having full-blown conversations or anything to that extent, just simply if you see somebody, smile in their direction. Say hi, how are you doing today? If it's morning, say good morning. Afternoon, good afternoon. Evening, good evening. You feel me? Like, we have to build that repertoire to get everybody back into the blend of things, because as a unit, and this is for every race, as a unit, we are stronger. As a one person, there's only so much we can do. But if we install that love and respect into our people, and we continue to mold it and nurture it, that's water in it turning to oil. I mean the dirt, everything, like continuously working it, nurturing it. It'll get where we want it to be. It'll be what we want it to be. In my eyes, God is not happy with what we have done to his world. He didn't give us his only son for us to be doing this. Still acting as though we don't know. So at the end of the day, check yourself before you can check anybody else. And if you're not comfortable telling yourself that you fucked up or that you're wrong, don't open your mouth and tell another human being something that you can't tell yourself. That's just all facts and all reality. So my queens, you keep shining. My kings, you keep shining. And just stay up, you guys. Support, share, comment. You like it, dislike it, let me know. Because I want to be the next Oprah. I want to be the next Mona Scott. And I don't knock anybody else that doesn't have my dreams. But it takes those ugly truths to get where you're trying to go. It takes that back-breaking work to get where you're trying to go. And this is my foundation right now. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm started. And I need you guys' help to get me where I'm trying to go. And best believe once I get there, y'all are coming with me too. So, again, I love you guys. You guys have a beautiful night. God bless. I think. I don't know. You guys, hold on.